startup BizPay is an automated bank-integrated and mobile-first expense management software suite of corporate prepaid cards, apps, and services. Hi, welcome to Follow Startups. I'm your host Ankita Pahwa, and today we are joined by Mikdad Merchant, the founder and CEO at BizPay. Mikdad's journey blends over 13 years of expertise in finance, gained from his experience in accounting and auditing, with a strong passion for technology. He's now putting all his energy into a single mission at BizPay, which is making businesses' lives easier. Let's find out how. Hello, Mikdad. Welcome to Follow Startups.
Hey, hi Ankita. Thank you so much for having me here.
It's a delight to have you here. So, you've navigated a very exciting career path from being a CA to an entrepreneur. So, before we get into the details about BizPay, could you tell us a bit about your background and how you got started?
So in 2011, right, I cleared my chartered accountancy and I come from a family business background, right? So I joined my family business and there I realized one important thing that when it comes to SME businesses, right, nobody takes care of finance that seriously. Like accounting is done, but when it comes to really the realm of finance, you will not have a CFO and you don't have anybody who takes care of the accounting and finance function as a whole. I started doing that, and many things I realized in this whole thing, and we fixed a lot of processes, etc. I saw a lot of things how SMEs actually work from the inside out. Then later, there's an interesting thing that happened during this period, okay, where we had done an ERP implementation in our Pune plant, which failed miserably. But in that, I realized one thing that why don't I look at coding a solution for ourselves in-house itself? Why don't I look at really doing that, right? And kahin na kahin, I probably had a passion for technology, latent inside. So I started doing it. And we had just shifted from my Mazgaon house to New Bombay. So because of that, I had a lot of time on my hands. I just cleared my exams and got into business. So I had a lot of time on as well. So I started reading books, started seeing a lot of YouTube videos, and I started coding on my own. And this is where I started creating a lot of Excel-based macros and all of that, and started automating the processes which were already happening through technology. This obviously gave me a high. We solved the problem one after the other. I created solutions for that same business, from an order management system to a full-fledged bill of materials calculator with an inbuilt optimizer and which would handle the bill of materials calculation with the graphical layout of how to actually cut the material and all of that, right? That solution is still being used today. Now, as a result, over a period of around 7 to 8 years, I became proficient in 5 programming languages, created 4 applications, and sold one of them commercially as well. Now, in 2017, where this was all done, and I had gained a lot of experience in the finance accounting realm as well as technology, I decided to start my own consulting firm by the name of Inside Advisory in 2017. Here again, while consulting for SMEs, mid-market companies, and large enterprises alike, I realized that there are some common challenges and problems all these businesses are facing. And this area is into the area of expenses made by employees outside the office. Now, this area is one of those classic problems. Okay, and I saw a lot of fraud, a lot of errors, a lot of misstatement during the course of my audit. And then I tried to search for technology solutions to solve this problem. And I realized that there are solutions out there, but nothing is as satisfactory. Nothing is really foolproof and takes care of the problem entirely. Plus, the biggest problem is if you use solutions like corporate cards, right? Then even if you give a corporate card to an employee to make the spends, if you talk about our country alone, your acceptance of corporate cards are very very less. तो फिर वो
Yeah.
स्वाइप कहाँ करेगा? Exactly वैसे ही होता था. अगर तुम उनको corporate card दो, तो he would go to an ATM and withdraw money. Entire accountability, transparency, everything gone out of the window. Because वापस उसको manually enter करना पड़ता cash में कितना खर्चा हुआ. Plus in many expenses in cash, like your rickshaw or having meals, many times actual bill is not available in so many cases. So कैसे वो proof
Yeah.
so again it opens up the same Pandora's box. But in 2021, there was a major change that happened. That UPI, which has already been a revolution in our country, that was available to be to enable a UPI transaction from a prepaid instrument. And
Hmm.
this is what I realized at the time, that this is going to be a big thing.
Hmm.
And in 2021, we started the company, and that's the inception of BizPay, and that is my journey. So the entire experience that I gained as a chartered accountant, as an auditor, and consulting many clients over my span of 13 years, I culminated all of this and coupled my passion for technology, and that is what I put into BizPay.
Thanks for sharing that. Now coming to BizPay. So tell us what BizPay is and walk us through your core offerings.
Okay. Now see, you must be using a digital wallet, right? You
Yeah.
must be making a UPI payment using a digital wallet app. There are many digital wallets available, Phone Pay, there's Google Pay, which you can do a UPI payment. But that's all for personal expenses and personal spends. But there's no solution out there for business spends. That exactly what BizPay is. So now imagine a situation where you have a lot of salespeople, distribution people, or you are a business which is into contracting or engineering. You have various sites going on, construction, infrastructure. Again, you have sites going on, or it's in logistics where you have drivers moving around all over the place, or you're in pharma where your medical representatives are moving all over the place. Wherever there are employees moving outside the office while on travel, or there are various sites projects going on, or there are very locations going on, you will face one common problem when it comes to these pens being made. Okay, एक तो option है कि चलो you ask the employee to make payments out of their own pocket and then take a reimbursement. This is the classic way of doing expense management, but that really fails. Why? Because अगर the employee salary is low, or the nature of business is such that the volume of money required is high, not possible for an employee to pay out of his own pocket and then take a reimbursement. So आपको
Yeah.
advance देना. अभी अगर आपको एडवांस देना पड़ेगा, सबसे बड़ा क्वेश्चन तो यही आता है कि मैं एडवांस दूं कैसे? अगर आप उसको पर्सनल बैंक अकाउंट में दे देते हो या पर्सनल वॉलेट पे दे देते हो, तो कोई कंट्रोल, कोई विजिबिलिटी है नहीं आपको ओवर दो स्पेंड्स, जब तक वो हिसाब देता नहीं है, करेक्ट? प्लस बिकॉज इट्स अ कॉर्पोरेट सिचुएशन, यू हैव टू आल्सो कंट्रोल दोस पेमेंट्स के भाई बजट में हो, ज्यादा ना हो जाए, जो तरीके के लिए दिया हो, जो चीज के लिए दिया हो उसके लिए हो, दूसरी चीज के लिए ना हो जाए. All of these controls and all of these workflows कैसे handle करें? That's exactly what BizPay does. So how BizPay works is, as soon as you as a corporate sign up on the BizPay platform, right, you get allotted a virtual account with our banking partner. आपको कोई ये documents नहीं देने पड़ते, they are automatically opened. You will load funds into that account. वो completely escrow account है, completely safe. It lies with a scheduled bank. Nobody can touch that money except you. फिर आप जितने भी आपके यूजर्स हैं ना, द एम्प्लॉयज हु नीड टू मेक स्पेंड्स, आप सबको लॉगिन्स दे दो बिस्पे के. You load money only into that one account, which is that pool account. फिर the employee will pick up the app, BizPay app, request for money. Say उसने 10,000 रुपए मांगा, okay, कि 10,000 rupees I am going for Delhi for a business trip. This money request will go through a multi-stage कॉन्फ़िगरेबल अप्रूवल वर्कफ्लो. तो पहले आपके मैनेजर के पास जाएगा, मैनेजर ने अप्रूव किया, फिर आप फाइनेंस टीम के पास जाएगा, उसने अप्रूव किया. जैसे ही अप्रूव किया ना, इंस्टेंटली पूल में से पैसा आपके वॉलेट में आ जाए और वही आप उस पर खर्चा कर सकते हो. खर्चा कैसे करोगे? यू UPI is also available. You can scan a QR code and make a payment. There's a physical card also, so you can swipe the card. You can also make an IMPS bank transfer. जो भी modes available है इंडिया में, वो सब available है. So when you make these spends, each of these expenses are captured and mapped into the app. आप अपना ऐप खोलो, उसमें एक्सपेंस आपको मिल जाएगा, उसके अगेंस्ट यू कैन पुट अ फोटो और अ PDF ऑफ द बिल, रिसीट, वाउचर एक्सेट्रा. और ऐसे ही आप सब एक्सपेंसेस को अक्यूमुलेट करो और सबमिट इनटू एन एक्सपेंस रिपोर्ट. वापस इट विल गो थ्रू अ मल्टी स्टेज अप्रूवल प्रोसेस. जैसे ही अप्रूव हो गया, सीधा आपके अकाउंटिंग सिस्टम में ऑटोमेटिकली चले जाएगा. So the entire back and forth and reconciliation होता है, right? वो पूरा automated flow है. And one of the most important things here is that we have something called an expense bucket where you can map these expenses into something like a cost center. और वो कॉस्ट सेंटर के ऊपर आप बजट डाल सकते हैं। और बजट भी दो तरीके से, रिकरिंग बजट, तो फॉर एग्जांपल अगर डिपार्टमेंट है जिसका खर्चा होना चाहिए 1 लाख पर मंथ, तो वो रिकरिंग बजट, या एक ट्रिप है जिसका 50,000 ओवरऑल यू नीड टू स्पेंड, देन इट विल बी अ वन टाइम बजट। And the system will automatically on a real time basis, जैसे आप खर्चा करोगे, it will keep comparing against the budget. Now just imagine this, okay, for 5 employees, 10 employees, 15 employees, 30, 100,000, the problem gets so much amplified. And if you have a solution that automates this entire flow and gives you one bird's eye view कि भाई कौन से सेंटर्स मेरे बराबर लाइन पे चल रहे हो, कौन से ओवर बजट हो रहे, कहाँ ज्यादा खर्चा हो रहा है, कौन से स्पेंस पॉलिसी के अंदर है, कौन से स्पेंस पॉलिसी के बाहर है, और ये सब आपके हर एक डिपार्टमेंट यूज कर पाए, फ्रॉम द from your pune, clerk, drivers, site supervisors, workers, all the way up to your managers, HR heads, accountants, CFOs, CXOs, everybody. ऐसा one solution, that is BizPay.
That's very interesting, and you're filling a very significant gap for every business out there. And you explained everything so beautifully, so nicely. I also noticed that you've got customized solutions for a variety of stakeholders, from consulting firms, like you said, and there are architects to NGOs and contractors. So I'm trying to understand, who are your primary customers that you serve, and how do you tailor your offerings to meet the distinct needs?
Oh, we believe in a philosophy called standardized engineering,
Hmm.
customized implementation. Okay.
Hmm.
So for every customer, we're not building the solution from scratch. Okay. We have built the solution in such a way that the engineering is the same. Okay. But the way it adapts to your need, that changes with every customer that onboards with us, right? Um, so with this, our key customers come from varied industries actually, right? So we do have contractors, as I mentioned. We have logistics companies. We also have pharma companies. We also have hospitality, which originally when we planned, we really did not think that hospitality would be such a big segment. But one of the key customers there is Ghost Stops, which has over 50 locations in India, 50 hostels in India, and all of the 50 hostels, they are using BizPay to manage all of their expenses at these
Wow.
various companies. So even hospitality is a good segment. Then for pharma, they use it for medical representatives moving around all over the place. Then we
Hmm.
have an engineering firm which even uses BizPay for the research and development expenses. Now this is also a big problem because R&D projects take a long time, and you
Yeah.
keep doing a lot of spends, a lot of staff needs to keep moving around. Now to be able to map all these expenses which are done over a long period to the same cost center was becoming a very big problem. But with BizPay, there's no problem. You can add an expense bucket and keep spending, and all those spends will fall into this expense bucket. So that really solves the problem. So many different use cases is that we we had envisaged, but more importantly, the market actually showed us 100 more use cases which we did not even think of. That this is how BizPay will get used by so many customers for different varied purposes.
That's amazing. So, would you like to share the names of some of these customers? You shared one from hospitality. Are there any other that you would like to share?
Yeah, then we have a retail brand called Madame. They have over 100 stores, and
Hmm.
they're using BizPay right now on a pilot basis, and then be soon rolling out through multiple more this. Apart from that, there are many more customers, but I'm unable to take the names because of many NDAs and contracts signed.
Hmm.
Um,
So that's great. Now, if I ask you to define the current stage of your business for the audience, what will that be?
So we have achieved product market fit totally, and we are at early revenues. That is what I would say the stage is. So we have stable revenues. Every single day, we have users using the application. We have spends happening every single day. We have about 1,000 users using the solution every single day. So yeah, I would say that we are at a early revenue stage.
And are there any investors on board so far?
Yes, absolutely. We were backed by Inflection Point Ventures in July 23.
Okay.
Now, I'm very happy to, say this because July 23, as you know, is a funding winter. And in the heart of the funding winter, okay, we were backed by Inflection Point Ventures. So I'm really grateful for them to put that faith in us, and the journey with them also has been fantastic so far. And post that, we raised one more round of funding in March 24, and right now we're looking at one more round. And with this, we'll be closing our pre-seed series of funding rounds, and then we'll be going for a larger seed and Series A and etc.
May I ask how much money have you managed to raise so far?
Till now, we have raised around 2.6 crores in total,
Okay,
and the current round, which is open, is for around 5 CR.
that's impressive.
So 7.6 is what we would have raised, and we intend to close this round in the next 2 months. We also have some identified investors with which we are at advanced stages.
Lovely. So, are there any, significant business metrics or business numbers that you would like to share with us that you think reflect the progress BizPay has made so far? Any business numbers?
I would say that the amount of growth, I would say that on a month-on-month basis, like in May itself, right, we onboarded 335 users. Okay. And I would like to bring to your notice that we went commercially live only in November. Okay? So we're still at very early stage. So
Hmm.
at such a stage, being able to onboard 335 users in just a single month and have them make spends of over 93 lakhs in just 1 month, I think that is something that we pride ourselves on with.
So, tell me, what is BizPay's revenue model? How does it look like? How do you monetize your services? And what are the typical costs involved for businesses that use BizPay?
Firstly, I would not say cost. For businesses, it's always an investment.
Okay.
Every rupee that they put into using BizPay gives them a return manifold. This is what we have seen across our customer base, right? So in terms of BizPay as a platform, we it's a SaaS fintech solution, right? So for using the software, there's a software as a service SaaS fees, which ranges from 250 rupees to 350 rupees per user per month based on the modules that you are selecting. And post that, when it comes to using the system in transactions, there are some fees for like bank transfers on IMPS, etc., which we have again from the banking side. So we charge that to our customers. So that's about it. Apart from the software cost, there's no real major cost for the customers to use the system.
So I saw something very interesting on your website. It said 360-degree visibility and 100% control over all your business spends, which is a brilliant proposition to have. So could you elaborate on how you ensure that, first of all, and how BizPay manages to differentiate itself from other expense management solutions in the market, especially for MSMEs?
So when you talk about 360-degree visibility, okay, um, all spends done even within outside office etc while on the move, they are tracked immediately, right? And when it comes to 360-degree visibility, what we mean is if it's petty cash or side-based expenses, or even if you want to track that employees are using their personal vehicles and how much is the reimbursement that you need to give them per kilometer that they use, we also have mileage tracking. So these various aspects of spends, they are captured in BizPay, and they are visible immediately. You don't need to wait for anybody to submit any report or do anything like that. The second the spends are there, they are available. Yes, reports are submitted, then approval metrics is there to finally push it into accounting system. However, the visibility happens at the point of spend itself. That is why 360-degree visibility and 100% control, because you can set control parameters on every wallet. You can spending limits on every wallet you can set. You can also have head-wise policies. For meals, you can only spend 500 rupees in a single instance, or you can spend 1000 rupees in a single day, or say 10,000 rupees in a single month. You can do all of this stuff also. You can go to this depth, and you can also say that, okay, for flights, if it's only more than say 1,000 kilometers, then only a person is allowed to book flights. Otherwise, he'll have to go by train. All of this also it will what you say check against and give you a complete report whether spends are within policy or not. So what we give to businesses In
Hmm.
short, is we help them track all their expenses, control wastages, and as a result, save a lot of time, effort, and most importantly, lots and lots of money. Hence, 360-degree visibility and 100% control over all business spends.
And I also saw a post about the launch of BizPay 2.6 with some new
Yeah.
features. So just
Yes.
walk us through what these enhancements are and how they benefit the overall user experience.
So BizPay 2.6 has actually come from our users, right? We constantly have a habit of talking to all our users, the companies that are onboarded with us, their management, as well as the ground level users who are using the system on ground zero, right? So BizPay 2.6 has some key enhancements that we have come to know from our users. One major thing is now we can go global. So BizPay 2.6 has Forex also. So not only you can map expenses or enter expenses into the system in India, however, you can also, if you're on a foreign trip, you can manage those foreign trip expenses also through BizPay. Currently, the card and the wallet system works only in India, but this having being able to enter expenses in foreign currency is the first step towards going global. We're also looking very actively for the MENA market. We also have a North African channel partner already identified. Uh, we have also have the technology platform already set in North Africa, and we should be launching in North Africa and the entire MENA market soon. So going global is one thing that we are doing at BizPay. Apart from that, one thing that we really pride ourselves on now is BizPay for Bharat.
Hmm.
Because what we understand at BizPay is that if you want the true power of expense management to be released, and you want truly a 360-degree solution, right? Then you cannot have only white collar guys sitting in a desk in office use and understand the solution, while actual people on ground zero do not know how to use it and they're not being able to use it to the fullest, right? That's why BizPay for Bharat, and that is what I tell you, Ankita, I'm most proud of, right? Is that drivers, workers, site supervisors, they are using it with equal proficiency as accountants, HR heads, managers, CXOs, etc. And this is because in this early stage, we are multilingual. We focus on ease of use at every step of the way. We are putting automation into so many things that you can map people to various centers, etc., so that all expenses can automatically fall and be reported automatically. We're using a lot of AI to fill data and capture data automatically. When you make a spend, it understands from the merchant and categorizes those expenses automatically, so that even this segment, which is traditionally not been so tech savvy, can actually use the solution. That is where the true power of BizPay actually comes from.
That's beautiful. And I'm sure there's a wonderful team that's working, constantly to improve the customer experience that goes behind it. So coming to the team itself, so how big is your team and how are the roles divided?
So currently we have a 12-member team. And yes, you absolutely are correct that I have a very, very able team working with us. In fact, वही तो काम करते हैं. So they are the ones who are instrumental in basically, taking this vision and to its, fulfillment.
Hmm.
So we're a tech company. So a large part of our team out of this 12 is like a 5-member tech team. Then we have 2 people in customer success, and we have like the rest are in sales and admin.
So are there any key positions that you are currently looking to fill within your team?
Yeah, absolutely. So in our next 12 months, our main uh, objective is basically to add more and more users to the platform. We are completely ready with our tech, and we already have over 1,000 users, as I mentioned. So the next um, stage of growth is to reach 10,000 active users, right? So from this 1,000 to 10,000 active users, we require a lot of staff in terms of sales and customer success. So these are both the positions which are open and displayed.
Got it. And I think now is the correct time to ask you, how does the next 12 months for BizPay look like?
So in the next 12 months, we are, as I mentioned, that we are going to be focusing on getting more and more users. 10,000 active users is where we need to scale up in the next 12 months. We also look at going global. As I mentioned, the MENA, the Middle East and North Africa market is where we would want to launch BizPay. Apart from BizPay expense management solution, we are also about to launch many more solutions. One of which are your accounts payables module. Now, when it comes to, there's a huge problem when it comes for small businesses, okay, especially for vendor management, to do a vendor registration, to onboard new vendors, to ensure that those vendors are actually supplying on time. And this problem even gets more amplified when it comes to services. Because
Hmm.
goods के केस में तो handle हो जाता है, but
Yeah.
when it comes to services, uh, I've seen many times during the course of my audits also, a lot of the proofs and a lot of supportings for knowing whether actual service had been provided or not is not really available. So we are the kind of solutions that we are working on and working towards. So BizPay's ultimate vision, right, is to be a suite of business applications, all bank connected and fintech based. So a SaaS fintech suite of business applications.
Great. And you're doing such an amazing work, first of all. Now, if I ask you to reflect on your journey so far, since you have a
Right.
very extensive experience in the industry and the first-hand knowledge of addressing all these business payment challenges, the expense management, everything, what would you identify as the three most influential factors that have driven the growth of this pay?
I think one of the most important factor is that I knew the problem inside out. Okay,
Hmm.
I think this is very very important when when founders are trying to solve for something which they don't understand themselves. Okay, or they don't have the people around them who understand this problem, right? Then those solutions, no, you can't go to the actual core depth of it. So I think that has been the number one factor. I think a second important factor has been I've been uh, I've been blessed that along with my chartered accountancy, I've also have a background in technology development, because of
Hmm.
which I think for the initial most important milestone was to actually develop the tech. In that I was able to understand many times what is going wrong. Whenever things are getting delayed, I was able to know where the problem is and be able to identify who would be the right person to help me solve this problem at the right time. So I think that is invaluable. So many times I've seen that startup founders fully rely on a technology vendor, etc., and they don't understand the tech part themselves.
Yeah.
So in such a situation, it ends up becoming a mess, especially if a single founder company is trying to do does not have a CTO and who's only from the functional side. Then it becomes rather difficult to get the tech ready. In my case, because I had both functional as well as technical knowledge, I think that was something that I was you know I was lucky to be able to navigate easily. And the third, I think, most important factor was that I knew that no, you can't do everything alone, and you really need to build a team, right? So one of the first things that I really focused on in the early stages of BizPay is to align myself with a good partner who could help me get the right people, and that has been again very very key. Because without the right people and the right place, really you cannot achieve anything alone. These, I think, in summary, were the three major things that have been positive for this.
Absolutely, Anu. Very well put. So, keeping in mind that we'll be promoting this conversation, this video to large enterprises, tech giants, and a broader startup ecosystem, is there anything specific that you'd like to put down that could help you find any external assistance that you are looking for? This is your call for support. So, just feel free to say anything you want.
Uh, so guys, one thing, if you know anybody who faces this problem, right? Anybody in any of these industries or even in generally any business who is facing a problem when it comes to managing expenses. Traditionally, petty cash mein they are giving vouchers, वगैरह, but you want a better way. Please connect them to BizPay. It would be a great help. We're always looking for more and more businesses who are looking at digital transformation and who want to go cashless, and BizPay can help them go cashless. Apart from that, we are constantly looking for collaborating with other tech companies who sell to enterprises and who also sell to mid market and SME businesses. We always have collaboration opportunities. We are tying up with businesses constantly. So if you're looking at any kind of collaboration, co-selling, or even a technology arrangement, we are really open to do that. Also, we can empower other fintech companies as well who are looking at getting into the payment space. We can help with that as well. So we don't consider anybody as competitors. We are all collaborators.
Thank you so much for sharing that, and thank you so much for your time. I genuinely wish you all the best in achieving all the targets that you have set for yourself. And I hope we get to have more conversations about all your next milestones here on Follow Startups. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ankita, for having me here and giving me this opportunity and this stage to speak to you.
Before I let you go, I want you to make a wish for BizPay that you hope comes true in the near future. And I want you to make this wish out loud.
So my goal is 10,000 active users. My wish has to be something much, 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 much more large. So 1 lakh active users in the next 12 months.
Great. Now, I've also prepared a quick rapid fire round, if you don't mind. Just quick 5 questions. Okay.
Will I get a
Okay.
coffee hamper?
You will. I'll get it delivered. Okay. Question number one, a productivity tool or app that you find most helpful in your daily work.
Trello, Trello.
Okay. Question number two, a book that you would like to recommend that has greatly influenced your career or your life in some way.
How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Complete life changer.
That's a good pick. Question number three, a fun fact about you that most people don't know yet.
I'm a certified open water paddy scuba diver.
Wow. That's great. Question number four, what is your favorite quotation or mantra that you live by? Any quote?
जो करो जुनून की हद तक करो.
And last but not the least, what is your one piece of advice for the young audience watching this?
खुदी को कर बुलंद इतना कि खुदा बंदे से ये पूछे बोल तेरी रजा क्या है. Always focus on increasing your own self-worth, your own knowledge, your own skill. That's it. That is all which is going to matter in the long.
Beautiful. Well, here's to BizPay, empowering businesses with streamlined spend management and uncompromising control. So, if you'd like to stay updated with the latest developments and business insights at BizPay, you can follow their channel on follow.us/startups. And to feature your startup, you can write to me at ankita.pahwa@follow.us. And we are eager to hear your story as well. So, stay tuned for the next conversation.